Namaste everyone and welcome back to LiveStronger. Yes, there's the 50th video. I have successfully recorded 50 workouts of mine. As mentioned last time, starting from today, we are going to switch our workout routine a little bit. We were following the bro split till now, and I hope by now you have established a great connection with your mind and muscle, in between your mind and muscle. As you can see, I've already started doing my greatest stretch 5 repetitions, and as I do them, I'm going to explain what we are going to do. We are going to switch to the push pull leg routine, wherein we are going to focus on the movements, the push, the pull, and legs, and do it twice a week to get maximum amount of work done on muscles. Why do I do this switch now? Because as I mentioned earlier in my initial videos, that till the time I feel absolute control of my muscles, each body part wherein I feel that I have worked, I have given them enough time, and I feel that connection with them while during my exercises, I'm going to switch stick to a bro split. But now that I have gotten a good connection wherein I can activate them, contract them well, I decided to switch the routine into a push pull legs. Now I'm going to do a shoulder based push workout today. So I started with my bear crawls, 5 repetitions after my greatest stretch, which was again 5 repetitions. Now, this is a pretty simple drill. You just have to start crawling forward with your arms, feel the compression in your shoulder. Great warm up for our shoulder routine also. You can do 5 to 10 repetitions as required. If you are unable to control your way down, you can always bend at your knees and then start crawling forward. You need not start with a straight leg posture. Now, in this particular routine, we are still going to stick to our core objectives, which is training our calf muscles regularly, training our forearms regularly. Again, I'm doing my mandatory deep squat for the day. And now let's begin with our stability drills. For my stability drill, I have done this earlier. I'm using an elastic band around my wrist, and I'm slowly pushing my hands over my head, basically doing a overhead press without any weights but with resistance band around my wrist. I've done 2 sets of it, about 5 repetitions with pauses in between at different stages to feel the activation or my posterior chain working really hard to stabilize my arms. It's an excellent exercise to start off your shoulder workout. It ensures that while pushing heavier weights, your arms remain in control and your posterior chair is completely activated to keep you stable. You can do this standing or seated. I chose to do today's exercises seated. While sitting down, I don't take back support. I sit on a flat bench. So there's no back support. Here I have a military press bench, basically a bench with back support just up till my, mid back, not higher than that. So my upper back is completely free for movement. Make sure you pause in between to feel the contraction in your rear delt and your posterior chain, your upper back basically activating. You might feel a slight bit of burning sensation, and that's a good sign. That means they are activated. For my first exercise, I'm going to do overhead presses. I'm going to do 5 sets of these, about 8 to 10 repetitions with 60 seconds break in between. I start away with the heaviest weight possible for me to control to get that 8 to 10 repetitions without failing my form. Remember, don't lean on to a high back support. If you have a military press bench, use that. If not, you can sit on a fat bench and take the support of a Smith machine just at your mid back if required. Otherwise, do it. You can also do it standing, but I chose to do it seated down to have a little bit more core control. Make sure your forearms are just as close as possible. I mean, your elbows. So don't flare your elbows completely out. It's totally unnecessary. Your strongest pushing motion over the head is really close to your body. So keep that natural motion in mind and keep lifting the dumbbells. Start with the heaviest weight possible. And as you start losing reps, step down. I started with about 20 kilos each hand, and then slowly I stepped down. In my last set, I came to around 15 kilos, and that 15 kilos started becoming extremely demanding in my fifth set. Make sure your face looks like mine for every last few repetitions of this set to get that effectiveness. For my next exercise, I'm going to do the rear delt flies. I've done 4 sets of it with 12 repetitions. Again, 60 seconds break in between. If required, you can take a longer break, but I recommend at least 60 seconds to regain the control over the muscle. Otherwise, you might fatigue very quickly and lose the repetitions. I'm sorry for the first set video angle. I thought I was getting a long shot, but unfortunately, I got a close shot, but I still put it there so you can still see how my back moves through the set. I then switch to a side angle so you can see me clearly how my arm moves and how much I let the bar come forward. Your rear delt is mostly focused on that last bit of contraction wherein your arms are just moving beside your body. So bringing your arms completely forward is unnecessary, and also you want to keep the tension all the time. So I don't rest the bar. I don't rest the bar at the forward position. I stop in between and then again I contract. I also don't load extremely heavy weight because that would activate a lot of mid and upper trapezium. We want to focus on the rear delt, which is just behind our shoulder. So I keep the weight just challenging enough and try to focus entirely on that rear delt. You can also see the way I sit. I sit way behind and then lean forward to get as much activation as possible. If you don't have this particular equipment, I have done other rear delt variations also. You can do that. You can do with the dumbbell flies too. Now for my next exercise, I'm going to do lateral raises, 3 sets and failure repetitions every set. So I've started with about 3 kilo weight and then moved to 5 and 7.5 kilos. Again, I've done this particular exercise seated. You can also do this standing, but I prefer to sit down today because by now I was tired. My shoulders were already sore and completely full of blood thanks to the starting 5 sets. Here, when doing this particular exercise, make sure that the load is completely focused on your shoulder, on your lateral delts. If you feel any kind of pain in your elbows, that means the load is shifting. So you can also use a cable machine to do this particular lateral raises. I've done this earlier in my initial videos and also my earlier videos, previous videos. So you can do that if you're not comfortable doing it with the dumbbells or if you feel any bit of elbow pain. I don't, so I stick to the shoulder raises. Again, I try not to rest the dumbbells completely. I try to keep them in motion at all times. So keeping the tension constant and do as many repetitions as possible without losing the form. Now we move on to our donkey calf races. Again, 2 sets, failure repetitions. I was able to get good 30 to 35 repetitions in both my sets, and my calves were full of blood. While doing this particular switch from your shoulder to calf, you don't necessarily need to take a break, but if you do want to take a break, please do take a couple of minutes, drink some water, and then go to your calf races. In between, you can say in between the sets you can take 60 seconds of break, but post calf races, again, you don't necessarily need to take a break. You can go to the next exercise immediately and save some time. I have timed my entire workout and I clocked around 1 hour 5 minutes. So if you subtract the effort to keep switching the camera into the right angle, you might finish this workout in about 45 to 50 minutes, including your dynamic stretchings, your stability drills, and your post workout static stretches or decompression, like we do today. For my next exercise, since it's a push based exercise, I'm going to work on my tricep muscles also. I have done 5 sets, 12 repetitions to get as much volume as possible in a very quick manner, thanks to the fixed weight barbells which were available for with me. So I could quickly start this exercise and keep going with it without much hassle of shifting the weights. But if that's not the case with you, you might take a little bit more time, so your workout might end up being 1 hour, but otherwise you should be able to close it within 1 hour. I've done 5 sets of it, 12 repetitions as usual, not like a skull crusher. I've taken the bar way beyond my head and then started pushing the weight ahead up, imagining to throw it away from my body. The bar never comes in line with my eyes, it stays always behind, creating that extra bit of stretch on my tricep while I do the extensions. 5 sets, 12 repetitions, lot of blood. Your triceps will be extremely tired because we already have done 5 sets of overhead presses where your tricep was working somewhat. So this would be a great finisher for our push day. You can take more than 60 seconds of break. I would not recommend taking less than that, because that would again fatigue you very quickly and you might lose some repetitions there. Start with the challenging weight as usual. Next, we move on to our vertical hang as long as possible. This time it gets a bit challenging because we are working a lot of exercises which demands a lot of grip strength, stability, and also we are working on our arms regular basis. Your arms might be tired, so hang as long as possible with 100 seconds as a target. If you're able to do that, really happy for you, and I envy you. I'm still trying to get there after every workout, but I was able to hang for about 35 to 40 seconds. Next, we do our oblique twists, 25 to 30 repetitions each side. I forgot to mention this in my previous videos, but when you're doing this particular twist, make sure you contract or you brace your core as much as possible to feel that extra bit of stretch and contractions happening every time you rotate around. You might feel the contractions traveling all the way right from your mid or just under your chest to way behind, even to your back. That's because how your oblique muscles are located. So every time you twist, your oblique muscles are stretching and contracting. As one side contracts, the other side stretches. So 25 to 30 repetitions each side. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you would like this new routine which we are going to follow. Nothing out of ordinary, as usual. Simple stuff, same exercises, just a little bit of routine change. But our core objectives still remain the same, so we'll keep doing that in the similar manner. I'm finishing off with a bit of decompression, 10 circles with my shoulder decompressed, doing 10 circles on the floor with my hand trying to reach the floor but not actually touching it, and making circles twice to just release the tension in my ball and socket joint of my shoulder. Again, thank you so much for joining me. I hope we keep pushing this forward, we keep getting stronger, we keep getting into a better physique. I already feel great, a lot of strength improvements throughout the time. If you still don't feel confident about the mind muscle connection, you can repeat the previous workouts which we have been doing. But if you're with me and you're going to continue with me, just switch to this program. There wouldn't be much difference. It's just a small switch of routine. That's it. Again, have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow on our pull day. See you.